Coming up on Dallas Mavericks today, how the Mavs can become the 6th team in NBA history to win the finals after being down 2-0. It's not over yet, folks. We're going to tell you how they can get back into this thing. Harrison Graham, Jeffrey Cooperstein here on today's show. Before we get to all of that, what do you guys think? Will the Mavs pull off the upset and win 4 out of the next 5 games? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no.
I want to start by saying it's not impossible. The series is not dead yet.
Not dead.
You have a game tomorrow. You have an opportunity to get back into this thing, and this is how I think you can do it. Number one, Luka has to have a generational run over these next 4 or 5 games.
No doubt about it. He has to be leaps and bounds the best player in at least 4 of the next 5 games.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I'm talking like LeBron in 2015 when the Cavs lost in 6. I mean, Luka needs to average like 36, 10, and 10 basically for them to even have a chance to win this thing. We said 50 is what he had to have in order for them to win the other night, which may have turned out to be right because he finished with 32, 11, 11, and they still lost by 8. They need him to be great, man. They need him to have a signature series, and they need him to carry this team to victory if they're going to pull it off.
Yeah, he's got to take better care of the ball. I think the scoring's fine. I mean, he's over 30 points in both games, got guys more involved, especially in the second half in Game 2. I know he's beat the shit, but he's got to find a way to be a little more impactful on the defensive end.
And he won't use that as an excuse
No,
either.
of course not.
Of course he's hurt. You know, he has the chest bruise, he has the knee stuff, the ankle stuff as well. He's battling, man, but you're right. He does need to find a little more.
Got to show a little more resistance. Like, it's, you know, he's probably not going to defend to the level he has through most of these playoffs, but I mean, guys are getting by him pretty easily the other night. So.
Yeah, I mean, they were looking for him on defense. They were trying to switch on him and kind of take him one-on-one. And I don't know if this was by design, but it felt like Luka just kind of let guys past him at sometimes as well.
Yeah, like he would like show good resistance at first, then they'd get by him, and then the Mavs would play help and kind of get into scramble mode.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'd be interested to see how he defends here in Game 3. Number 2, I mean, clearly Kyrie is going to have to get back to being Kyrie. I did see a stat on social media today, Coop. In 2016, in Games 1 and 2, he averaged, I want to say, like 18 or 19 points in the first 2 games, 37% from the field. And then the next 2, he averaged 36 points per game and like 55% from the field. So
I would like that.
I don't know if it's going to be that extreme of a change, but he's got to be closer to the latter than the former for this team to feel like they can get back into it. If Kyrie is an average player in this series, you got no shot.
Yeah, you're done. I mean, Kyrie needs to be the 3rd best player in the series, I think, at minimum, in order for the Mavs to come back and win this thing. He was awful in the first 2 games, and I think he knows it. Coming back home hopefully gives him some confidence. Hopefully the crowd will be behind him as well, and he'll be able to play like Kyrie has played pretty much all season and be the Robin to Luka's Batman. Hopefully he can do that here in Game 3.
That would be excellent. Show Kyrie some love. Got to get him out of this slump. Get the 11s going in the chat as Kyrie Irving desperately needs to get going for Dallas to get back into this series.
I hope the crowd gives him support, by the way. I know that these are 2 bad games and we've been dogging on him, but he does need the support right now. So show some love to Kyrie.
I would expect, especially early on, they're going to have his back.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't doubt that. Okay. Role players got to make shots. The old adage, Coop, role players play better at home. Hopefully that comes true. It doesn't mean they all have to play well, but a couple of them got to be able to hit some of those weak side threes because I think the Mavs have generated some pretty good looks, and they just have not made many of them. Kleber can't make a shot. Derrick Jones has stopped hitting threes. Even though P.J. Washington's had a pretty good first 2 games, he's not making shots from the perimeter. So some of these guys have got to knock down looks, especially when they're pretty much just catch and shoot open threes.
Yeah, the 3 guys I'm looking at are Jones, Kleber, and Green. I mean, most of the threes that they get are wide open, and they're just not falling. And that kind of includes Kyrie as well. These are shots that these guys...
Kyrie's 0 for 8 in this series.
Exactly. I mean, these are shots that these guys have made all season long, and hopefully coming back at home will help them knock those shots down, because if they don't, you're going home. So you really need to just take advantage of the open looks that are provided, especially when Luka's finding you with all-world passes. Just got to knock those shots down, man. I'm not asking for you to shoot 100% from 3 in this series, but I am asking you to at least shoot your average that you shot all season.
Yeah, no question about it. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 30,000 subs as soon as possible. We'd love to get there by the end of the finals. Mavs going to have to win a few games for that to happen.
Yes, indeed.
But we still believe if you want daily Mavericks coverage here on YouTube, we're the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button. Number 4, keep Tatum quiet, which from a scoring standpoint you've done. I think you got to limit some of that playmaking, especially what we saw in Game 2. Now, I still think you're more comfortable making him a floor general than a guy who can go for 35 in a game. But if he starts to get going scoring-wise, you're probably in a little bit of trouble because he hasn't so far, and it hasn't been an issue for Boston in terms of winning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tatum is not – I mean, he is a decent playmaker, but that's not what he's known for. He's known for scoring the basketball, and he went 6 for 22 in Game 2. I'm not expecting him to shoot 33% from the field or less than that even, but I do expect him to kind of be a little more aggressive and try to find his shot, and maybe that'll get him into some bad habits, and hopefully the Mavs can force him into some bad shots and try to take advantage of it on the other end. I mean, when he is shooting like this and the Celtics have still won the first 2 games at home, it kind of sounds the alarm bells in your head. It's like, all right, their best player, despite what Jason Kidd says, Tatum is their best player. Their best player hasn't played that well or up to his standard, and they're still up 2-0. Imagine what happens if he actually does start playing well. So that kind of concerns me, but I do think the Mavs have done a decent job on Tatum defensively, and they need to continue that for sure.
Yeah, no question about it. What do you guys think? More or less than 19.5 points for Jayson Tatum in Game 3? Type M for more or L for less. I would probably lean more. I think he'll probably have a better game scoring the basketball. But if he does, maybe other guys won't get as involved. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out.
And this one's simple. It's the last one and the most important. You got to win both games at home. If you're going to win this series, you have to win both games at home, and it has to be tied 2-2 going back to Boston.
And if you do, I mean, I would say that Game 5 is pretty 50-50. I mean, the Mavs are kind of known as a Game 5 win-on-the-road team. You would have all the momentum in the world. Boston, all of a sudden, is pretty nervous heading back into that building, I would think. So, it starts on Wednesday night. Find a way to win. Doesn't matter how. I think Game 4 will be the tough one.
Yes,
I think I like Dallas's chances to win tomorrow night, get one back. But the Game 4 one is going to be the challenging one, I think, just because that mental factor of you still really need to win this one too. Because if you're down 3-1 going back on the road, as good as this team is on the road, you're going to win Game 5 on the road, come back, win Game 6 and a Game 7 on the road. I'm not saying it's impossible. It seems pretty unlikely, though.
Yeah, I don't think the Mavs are going to be 3-1 Kings and come back from 3-1 down to win a series. But it starts tomorrow night. Make it a hostile crowd. Make the Celtics feel you like they made the Mavs feel them in Boston and try to get this one back to 2-1, and then who knows what happens in Game 4.
Coop's going to be in the building tomorrow night. He's 0-6 in his last 6 DFW playoff games.
It's 1-6.
Coop, this is a legacy game for you.
It's a reverse. It has to be a reverse jinx, right?
Down 2-0 for the first time in the finals?
Exactly.
Or in the playoffs?
It has to be. They're going to win tomorrow night. I'm going to say it right now. They're going to win.
Jeremy Chuggs, a.k.a. Jeremy Beadling, will be producing in Coop's place. And if Coop brings home a win, that would be very, very exciting.
Let's do it.
All right, we're out of here. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you tomorrow night.